Hello and welcome. I'm so glad you're here. You are in my Williams versus State of California Guru collection. As you go through this collection, I'll meet up with you along the way. We're going to take a tour of the Williams versus State of California case. I want you to see how this case that was settled over 10 years ago is still relevant today. Come on, let's go. As you can see, the Williams versus State of California case made some positive changes and impacts on our school systems and accountability. The two main arguments were that the State of California had to provide the basic resources that children needed to learn. This included qualified teachers, enough materials, and decent facilities. Second, all students have a fundamental right to an equal education. Williams called on the state to create standards for basic educational materials and put accountability systems in place to ensure schools were living up to the standards. Williams also argued that we needed more funding for schools, both to fix up the schools that needed repair and to keep schools from becoming in need of repair. As you can see, the Williams versus State of California case has had some major impacts on our schools and their accountability. On September 29, 2004, Governor Schwarzenegger signed laws implementing the legislative proposals set forth in the party settlement agreement. These new laws included SB 550 and AB 2727. These laws established minimum standards regarding school facilities, teacher quality, and instructional materials, and an accountability system to enforce these standards. Governor Schwarzenegger also signed AB 1550. This would phase out the use of multi-track systems, the year-round calendar, and AB 3001, which would try to get qualified teachers into low-performing schools and making sure teachers are qualified to teach their subject matter, so we don't have English teachers teaching the math class or vice versa. It also made sure that if teachers were teaching English language learners, that they were qualified to do so. Now, let's take a look at a document that shows the past 9 years of implementation of Williams versus State of California and the impacts it has made. Yikes. Okay. As you can see, Williams versus State of California has impacted our schools a lot. It's impacted our students, our teachers, our schools, our districts, even our communities. I think through the past 9 to 10 years, we've seen lots of changes that have come forth because of that initial case, that initial ruling. And we will continue to see changes. One of the things that I remember back when I first started teaching, which was back in 2005, was when our instructional coach had come into my room, and it was before back to school night, and handed me these 2 posters and told me I needed to put them up on the wall. I didn't really know what they were. I didn't really think about it. I saw that they were Williams versus State of California. It had to do with textbooks and how many students are in your class and what textbooks do you have and how many of each textbook you have, and I had to fill it out and I had to staple it on the wall. And I still have those posters up in my classroom, and every year I have to update them. At the time, I didn't realize what I was putting up on my wall, what those posters really meant, and just the impact those posters have on our children and on our students and on us. So I think the Williams versus State of California was definitely a landmark case that changed education. Those posters, like I said, are still on my wall, but they definitely hold a different meaning to me now that I've researched this case and learned about it. And I hope now, as you've researched this case along with me, that you've learned more about Williams versus State of California and why it started, what's kept it going, and what it will continue to do for us as we venture on.